Man, it's the full moon. It's beautiful too. I'm just walking around. The grass is underneath my feet and it feels right. It's like that perfect temperature outside where everything is still, you know what I'm saying? And it's not too cold, it's not too hot. It's just somewhere in a perfect middle to where there's no uncomfortability. The type of comfort where you wouldn't even adjust it. Like, nah, I'm good. Like, nah, really good. Like 1 degree, no, nothing. Leave it exactly where it is. And then you realize, like, wow, this is actually perfect. And then you can hear the different creatures in the background. Maybe crickets, maybe frogs. Could be wild turkey because it's dark and they're settling into their positions. Could be the deer, I'm sure they're out there in the forest as well, somewhere, sleeping. Could be toads, smaller life, that you don't look down, that you don't see all the time. Probably some snakes starting to come out because it's dark. Yes, I am in the woods. I am in the woods. And there's a clearing here because I've cleared some space for me to walk, for me to stretch my feet, for me to exercise myself, for me to come out here in the morning and have somewhere to stand, to do my qigong, to do my energy practices. But I like to walk to where there's a certain point and there's a clearing between the trees. You know, you got your trees on the left. Then you have the trees on the right, and they all look beautiful. But what's most beautiful about that is in that opening, from my standpoint, where I'm looking, I can see the moon in all its roundness, in all of its brightness, because it is a full moon. And I'm just so grateful for it. I'm just so appreciative for its presence. It's crazy because a lot of times we talk about how beautiful the sun is, right? Sun gets his respect. Everybody, you know, we just start giving respect, you give respect to the sun. You know what I'm saying? But I think that we've lost an understanding of the moonlight. How beautiful it is. What it can do for you. It is sunlight. The moonlight is sunlight. Dissipated, reflected from another celestial body, given a different energy, given a different effect on all of you. You have to understand and remember that you're multidimensional. And some of these celestial bodies that provide for you are providing for you multi-dimensionally. And it's for that I would like to give my gratitude to the moon. Thank you, moon, in all of your openness, in your completeness, because you are fully round right now. And I know that roundness that you show is representing something, because there's patterns. It's not that you yourself are directing it or you yourself are controlling it, but you are a signal to me, a sign to me of what pattern we are in right now. And I would like to thank you for that, because each and every night I can come out here, I can stand here, I can look up at you and understand a pattern, a cycle in what I would consider semi-long-term time. And the sun doesn't provide that. And I thank you for that, moon. I do. I truly do. Because the more I understand these patterns, which is a science based upon mathematics, I understand that you can tell me so much about myself. And as I get told more about myself, I start to think. And it becomes clear to me that the reason I learn more about you and that I learn more about myself simultaneously is because when I truly understand me, I'll understand that you and I are not separate. We're not separate. There is no separation. This is all perception. And I thank you, Moon, for that. I'm just so grateful for the moonlight. The moonlight is absolutely beautiful. And I think that we've lost the ability to come out here and enjoy it. We've lost the understanding of what it can actually do for us. Oftentimes you hear, go out there and get some sunlight, go get some sunlight, go get some sunlight. But there's another type of sunlight that you can also use that can benefit you. And that is the moonlight. And during a full moon, when you walk around outside and just allow yourself to bask in the rays of the beautiful moon, it may sound crazy to you, but if it sounds crazy to you, then that means that perhaps you haven't been living right. Perhaps you've been in the city too long. You need to get out the city. Get out those fake moons. We recreate you with those white halogen lights, trying to make a falsehood of the night. Trying to make a falsehood of the moon. You can't be duplicated. You simply can't. Perhaps it sounds crazy to you because you've been given a certain belief. And in that belief system, when you hear others talk about the moon, you start to think, here they go talking that shit. What shit? It's the moon. It's in the sky every night, most nights. It's there for you, visible, so you can see it. It moves in a predictable pattern. So therefore, perhaps it's a part of the universe that you're a part of. You have the ability to see it every day, don't you? For the most part. It's not blocked. If you look up, you can see it. And you can predict when it's going to be there. Maybe it's working in the same system as you. So by you recognizing it and by you giving respect to it, you just have an understanding of where you are a bit more. Why of where you are? Because you obviously occupy the same space as that moon. You look up and you can see it. These eyes of yours can see thousands of miles away. What? You are an amazing being. You're an amazing creature. You can see something thousands of miles away. Let's just think about that for a minute. You, whatever you consider yourself, can see light. This body in the sky, in nothingness, basically. It looks like, if there's no stars out, it looks like you're just sitting there. Ain't nothing behind it. It's just there floating in the middle of nowhere. And you can see it. All that doesn't sound like a miracle to you? You have the ability with your two eyes, not no damn telescope, not some created machine or something like that in some lab that was researched for a long time, as far as you're aware, can see something in the sky tens of thousands of miles away. And it often looks like it's just floating there and nothing's behind it. How's it sitting there? They tell you something. Oh yeah, gravity. It's just floating there. But how? But like, there ain't no string or nothing like that. Like what? Like what's it sitting on? It ain't sitting on nothing. Then how's it sitting there? Oh, there's this thing called an orbit. Yeah, I get it. But what's holding the orbit? Like how does shit just spinning in the middle of nowhere? Like ain't there something like at the bottom? Nigga, show me the bottom. Let me see the bottom of that motherfucker. Ain't nothing on the bottom of that shit. How the fuck is it there? A space. Yeah, I get that. But like the rules in space must be different. But you're in space. What you mean? The Earth the same way. Like if you were standing at the moon, like on that shit, and you looked at Earth, it would like look like it was just floating in nothing too. And now you got to realize that you're the miracle that you're actually seeing. You are the miracle. It's a miracle that you can see that. That's not a miracle. All that is in your head. All that you just witnessed, or you thought you witnessed is in your head. So where's the real miracle? The miracle must be you, because that whole conversation about how it's sitting there, that whole understanding, that whole belief is inside of you. So you're the miracle. And I would just like to thank the moon for that tonight. Thank the moon for giving me that remembrance that I am that miracle. That perhaps the separation between us is either A, not as great as I thought, or B, does not exist at all. That there is no separation. And that when I understand you, I understand me. That when I see the miracle in you, I'm actually only seeing the miracle in me. Because I could only ever see the miracle in me. And that's why tonight, on this peaceful night, with perfect weather, perfect flow or lack thereof, depending on perspective, of the wind, is grazing my skin in a divine way, as if there needs to be no modifications to anything at all. And I'm standing under the moonlight, and I feel so connected and in perfect harmony with all around me. And for that, I thank the moon.